During the course of these videos we have touched on using presets. Presets are a predetermined set of changes that we can apply all in one go with a click, and of course they're non-destructive, so we can remove them too. Lightroom comes with a number of presets already built in, and probably there's enough there to keep us busy for quite some time. But what images do we apply presets to? Here's an image as an example of what I mean. Every single image we are going to work through the develop module, more often than not, is going to need a different set of changes to the next image, unless of course they've all been shot within a few seconds of one another under exactly the same lighting conditions. Then of course there's an exception. So if we was looking at one of the presets, let's say for a black and white conversion, we'd hardly be looking to apply that preset to this particular image, because that preset will not have all of the changes to take this image from what you can see here to an image that has the sparkle we're going to need. So I'm going to suggest that most of the time the presets we're going to use we should be using on our completed images. In other words, the images we've already corrected for exposure, tone, contrast and colour. I have this image opened up in the library module, but I've got the loop view at the moment. But I'm going to take it into the develop module so that I've got access to the presets. And this is my point. We're taking an image here that's had no image editing whatsoever, and we're going to apply a preset to it. Let's go to the Lightroom black and white presets, because this image doesn't have a lot of colour anyway. Let's take the high contrast. Well, it has an effect on the image, but it doesn't do a grand job, does it? Let's look at black and white 1. Hardly any difference at all. And not one of these options is going to be acceptable as a completed image. If any, that's probably about the closest we're going to get. So what we'll do is we'll close this down, reset this image, forget it for the moment, and I'm going to open up my finished image catalogue. So I have my finished images catalogue open in the library section, and I've got the loop view again. But of course all of these images have been through the develop module, and if I've got my work right, they've all got a good degree of colour, tone, contrast, appeal. So in theory we can take almost any one of these and we can apply our presets to them. Let's select this one and go to the develop module, and we'll try this with one or two of the presets. And let's select the black and white look 1. It's a whole new ball game, isn't it? Because the presets that we're clicking on are there to give us the black and white. It's assuming we're starting from a good jumping off point. If we're not, then the preset's as good as useless to us. And of course we've got a number of presets we can choose from, and there's always going to be a degree of personal choice, as I keep saying. But we don't have to select them all, of course. We can just mouse over them and look at the thumbnail at the top left in the navigator, and we can choose whatever it is that appeals to us. Now if we find a preset like the black and white look 5, or we create something from scratch ourselves, but let's just take that one on the left hand side. With this particular image I think it needs to be slightly darker, but let's just assume for the moment that we've made a preset of our own. What we then can do is we can save that under our user presets. If I go to the little plus button here, I can create a new preset, and I can choose where it's going to be located, and in this case I'll use the user presets. So I could make this black and white look. Has it got a space in there? 6. Now I can choose what's going to be included, but of course if I've included all of those changes for that look, on this occasion I'm just going to click create. Now in my user presets I have my own preset created, and it could be just the black and white conversion as we've seen here. It could be a really nice sepia tone that happens to meet our needs, or that very delicate blue tone that we like for our winter images. You get the picture. Of course, if you've got a friend who needs a little bit of help and you've made a preset that they'd like to use, you can export and import presets. Let me demonstrate that quickly. I've got a USB stick in my computer. I'm going to go to the preset that I've just made. I'm going to right click and choose Export. As soon as the export panel comes up, I can navigate to where I'm working and I can put my preset in there. Now I'm not sure why it doesn't pick up the exact words that I've used, but it may be that it may not recognize the @ sign here, so I'll just use BW just in case and save. So how would we import that or another preset? Well, it's just really a reverse of what we've just done. We just go to the same place, right click, and instead of sending the preset out, we're going to bring it in. Now, just before I do that, I'll right click and show you also that we can delete that if we wish. So I'm going to go to my user presets here, right click and choose import. Now I can navigate to wherever the preset is located. Now there's the one I've just made. This is one that I picked up from the internet. So I'm going to select both and click open. Error importing Big Blue Lightroom Strong. The preset file was the wrong type of preset. I think it was from a Mac, so it may be causing a few problems. So we'll say OK to that. We'll live with just one. But you can see it's actually done what I wanted it to do. So if we was taking a preset from one machine to another, it's pretty quick and easy to do. Now the change you've just seen on screen is me returning to my raw catalogue and the few images I've been bringing onto the computer for demo purposes. So when we apply presets, generally speaking, I have to use that word because there's always going to be exceptions, but generally speaking, most of the presets in Lightroom we're going to apply to our completed images, but perhaps some that we may want to create for those that we're still working through the develop module, maybe images. This is a good example. This is one of my infrared images, and if I go to my develop module just for the moment with this one, because of the nature of infrared, which I won't go into in detail, we often get the images coming up with this color. So if I find, for example, which I do, that I normally have to start any manipulations with these images by removing the saturation, but I still want to keep a red, green, blue image just in case I want to tone it, so I always do that, and I nearly always put a healthy slug of clarity in there. Now that's the sort of change that perhaps we could apply to a preset. So when we open up our images, we can either select a whole batch and apply the preset, or just to one. And of course we've always got that knowledge that even if we apply the preset and 9 times out of 10 it works perfectly, but on the one time it doesn't, we still have access to the changes it's inflicted on our image, and we have the ability to change them. So once again, presets and the use of them are going to be pretty personal, I think.